A very pleasant morning to all my dear children. Welcome back to English Online class of Sri Gokulam Public School, Guruvayur. I hope you all are in the pink of your health and taking care of yourselves. Yes? Okay. As our assessments got over, let's restart our regular online learning sessions. Let's start with the lessons from our enlightened text of the second semester. Let's start with the first lesson. Our first lesson is Irah's Flower Garden. Irah's Flower Garden is a story written by Toti Meklis. Toti Meklis is a children's writer from Indonesia. She has written more than 40 children's books. Her famous story is Irah Becomes a Flower Gardener. It has won several awards for her. Our particular lesson, Irah's Flower Garden, is an extract or it's adapted from her story Irah Becomes a Flower Gardener. We need to study only a small portion of that story. Before moving to our story, let's look at the pictures of those beautiful flowers given in our text. In the beginning of our lesson, in page number 1, there are pictures of 6 beautiful flowers. The first one is Margaret. Margaret is also known as daisy. It's a daisy flower. If you have seen that flower, you can put a tick mark below that picture. Okay, so your today's activity is, if you have seen these flowers, you can put a tick mark below each picture. Okay, some of you might have seen it somewhere, or it might be there in your gardens. If it's there in your garden, it's so easy, right? And the second one is Carnation. Carnation is also a beautiful flower. Third one is Marigold. Fourth one is Hibiscus. Hibiscus is a common flower, right? It's there in most of our gardens. It grows abundantly in our gardens. It doesn't need any special fertilizers or any special soil for its growth, right? It grows abundantly in most of the places. Yes. And the next one is Frangipani. Frangipani is also a beautiful flower. The last one is lotus. We are all familiar with it, right? Yes. It is our national flower. And those who visit temples, you might have seen in the ponds situated near the temples, right? Yes. So if you have seen these flowers, you can put a tick mark below these pictures. Okay. So now let's move to our lesson, Irah's Flower Garden, written by Toti Meklis. Irah's Flower Garden, as the title suggests, as the heading suggests, who's the main character in our story? Obviously it is Irah, right? Irah is the name of a young girl. Irah is the name of a young girl from the village Sihejo in Indonesia. Okay. So when the story begins, there is a meeting held in a village. There is a meeting held in a village and many people participated in that meeting. Our Irah also participated in that meeting. Many farmers, many businessmen all participated in this meeting. Okay. So in the meeting, they decided to select a representative from each village to become a flower gardener. They need to flourish flower market. They need to earn or gain profit from flower market. For that, they decided to select a flower gardener from each village. And from the village Sihejo, it is our Irah been selected. So Irah, our main character, she's very happy. She's very happy to hear this good news because she's a smart, hardworking, and a girl who loves flowers. So she feels it as a golden opportunity, a golden chance to make a flower plantation, to own a flower plantation. And her village is also proud of her. And for Irah, it is a dream come true because she just loves flowers. The authorities selected her as a flower gardener. They also gave her a book which contained informations of what all types of flowers she could grow and what all fertilizers she could use for the proper growth of that flowers and what type of soil is suitable for those flowers. All such informations, all such details is there in that book. So it's such a useful book to own a flower plantation. Unfortunately, our Irah doesn't know how to read and write. So she's very disappointed. So she feels very sad and at the same time she also needs to help her friends to make kite for annual kite competition. So she has two tasks. She needs to become a flower gardener. She also wants to prepare a design of a kite for the annual kite competition. Irah is happy and excited in the sense that she imagines if she becomes a flower gardener, her house, her garden will be surrounded with beautiful flowers. Her garden and her home will be filled with fragrance of beautiful flowers, smell of beautiful flowers. So, and it is a beautiful sight, right? Beautiful flowers are one of the best creations of nature, right? Of God. The sight of beautiful flowers gives us immense delight, gives us immense pleasure, right? It makes our day fresh, it makes us pleasant. The sight of beautiful flowers makes us so pleasant. It makes us so happy. Irah is asking to herself, how can I grow flowers if I cannot take proper care of those flowers? If I could read. So she's imagining these things. If she could read, she could become a successful gardener. She could become a successful flower gardener. But alas, she's unable to read. As she was sitting very sad, some of her friends came to her house. They came to her house and compelled her and forced her to prepare a design for the kite. The kite for annual kite competition. So they forced her to prepare a design for the kite. But she burst into anger. She was so angry and she went to her room crying. Her mother noticed all this and understood the matter. She thought of bringing a solution to this problem, to Irah's sadness. She understood the reason for Irah's sadness and tried to bring a solution for it. She told Irah's friends to teach Irah how to read and write. Only if she learned how to read and write, she could read that book. Only if she can read that book, she will help you in preparing a design for the kite. So only if you teach her to read and write, she would help you with the kite. Only then she would be happy in doing such an activity. So her mother told her that they should act as if they don't know anything about them. So Irah's best friend Sari decided to teach her secretly, teach her how to read and write secretly. So she came the next day itself and she indulged in a chat as if she doesn't know anything. So Irah shared her intimate feelings. She shared her sorrow that she is unable to read and write. As she is unable to read and write, she is not able to read what is written in that book. So Irah's friend Sari told her that she will teach her how to read and write. So Irah's friend Sari told that you can read and write if you have that willpower, if you have that determination to study. If you do your best, you can study within 1 month. So Irah also promised her that she will surely study, and gradually she learned how to read and write. When she learned to read and write, she shared a happy news with her friends. The happy news was that she would help them to make the kite. She would help them to prepare a design for the kite. They were all very happy and they spent many days for the design of a kite. Finally, they prepared a kite. It was a unique kite, a special kind of kite. The boys made the kite and Irah made the illustration. She made the drawing. She made the design for the kite. And that particular kite won the competition. It won the first prize. It won the prize for the village Sihejo. Then Irah told her father that as a kite competition is over, I must concentrate on my flower plantation. So her father told that he will surely help her with her flower plantation. So Irah's father also gave her the best message or the best advice that a father could ever give to any daughters. He told that whatever work you do, whatever activity you do, you have to enjoy and do the activity. You have to enjoy and do the work. Only then you will have the best results of that work. Okay, so whatever be your endeavor, whatever be your activity, do it with immense pleasure or immense delight. Find enjoyment in the work you do. You will be able to produce the best results. It would come up with best outcomes. Okay, so this is the message, or this is the advice given by her father. So she told that if you could bring happiness by giving flowers to your friends, your heart will also be filled with happiness. If you could see the happiness in others, it would bring happiness in you also. So being a flower gardener is not a mechanical thing. It brings a lot of happiness in us. So this is advice given by her father. The months passed by. It was a sunny day. Irah's flower garden was filled with many beautiful flowers, with colors of the rainbow, with all the colors of the rainbow. You know the 7 colors of rainbow, right? There is a certain code for that color, Vibgyor. If you remember that code, you can get all the 7 colors. So what is Vibgyor? Just expand Vibgyor. Vibgyor. V stands for violet, I stands for indigo, B stands for blue, G stands for green, Y stands for yellow, O stands for orange, and R stands for red color. So this is Vibgyor. So all the colors of the rainbow can be seen in her garden. Her garden is full of flowers. Her garden is full of roses, margarites, marigolds, daisy, and all the flowers. But her efforts, but her hard work didn't stop there. She kept on reading books. She kept on gaining knowledge how to grow flowers, what all things are necessary for the growth of flowers. She kept on reading books for gaining such knowledge, for gaining such information. And her flowers found a market in Jakarta, the capital city of Indonesia. Her dream came true. She could smell and she could see beautiful flowers every day. She also gifted these beautiful flowers to her friends on their birthdays and also on their special occasions. Finally, her dream came true and Irah becomes a successful flower gardener. Here stops our story. In the next class, we'll have a detailed explanation of this lesson. So read your text thoroughly, read the story thoroughly, enjoy the story, children. So that's all for today. See you in the next class.